Hey, motherfuckers, this is the Getting Hard podcast. I am your host, Tim, and this week, Jen is going to be absent. She has the laryngitis, so fuck her anyway. Nah, just joking, but she'll be back next week, so don't get your fucking panties all in a knot. I got a hot one for you this week, though. I'm going to do a little review of a song by Carcass, which is one of my ultimate favorite bands of all time. Pretty much one of the bands that got me started into metal. They just released a new track. It's called Under the Scalpel Blade, and I gotta say, it's fucking sick. So I'm gonna start out by giving you guys a little quick history, just for anybody that may not know about the band. If you do, and you got a problem with me giving this little quick history, well, fuck yeah, I don't care. It's not gonna be much. I just wanted to do a quick overview. Carcass is from Liverpool, England. They were formed in 1985 by Bill Steer and Ken Owen. Bill Steer is the current bassist and vocalist in the band, and Ken Owen used to be the drummer. So basically, early Carcass was grindcore, gore grind, I guess you'd call it. They kind of invented the gore grind genre. Probably didn't know it at the time, but it's pretty much a combination of grindcore and death metal put together. So a lot of their lyrics are based around animal rights and stuff. They used to be vegans. At least two of the members used to be vegans anyways. I'm not sure that now their newer stuff is really centered around that stuff. I think they've kind of steered away from it. They've gotten into more medical type stuff too at times. But still, I think they do touch on that every now and then. They've gone through a shit ton of lineup changes. The band had quite a bunch of turmoil in their, I don't know, in their their history. A lot of member changes. So right now, the current lineup is Bill Steer, Jeff Walker, Daniel Wilding, and Tom Draper is kind of a part-time sort of thing. I think he only does shows with them, but he's guitars. Bill Steer and Jeff Walker are the only two original members in the band. So the new track, Under the Scalpel Blade, I have been listening to it quite a lot. It came out a few weeks ago. I think maybe, could have been actually probably a couple months ago now, I'm thinking. I don't know exactly the date, but it is fucking awesome. Like, when I heard it, it kind of took me back. And so I just wanted to kind of talk about how I never expected to see the band come back. I never expected them to do what they had done before, but they are back at it completely. It's really, really reminiscent of the pre-Heartwork stuff. So they, as a band, have released 6 studio albums. I'll list them off here. The first one was Reek of Putrefaction. That album, I'm pretty sure I think it was Bill or Jeff said they hated it. And the reason they said that was because they said the engineer who did like the final mix down on it, he fucking totally screwballed the drums and the bass volume or something like that, and they had to lower the volume. So that's why anybody who's got that record, which I'm assuming that would have came out in '86, that is probably only on cassette tape, maybe CD, but I don't know if it was ever really put to CD. I'm not sure. I don't have it personally. I have the last 5 albums that they've, or sorry, I have the 4 previous to the latest album that came out. So those are all on CD, but I don't think that Reek of Putrefaction was ever on CD. If it is, and you can correct me on that, please comment under our goofy-ass Carcass picture that's on our Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and let me know, because I would fucking love to get my hands on it. Shitty quality or not, I want it. My overall opinion on the track is it hits fucking hard. It sounds exactly like Carcass. Like, when I heard it, I instantly thought to myself, this has got to be an old song that's been re-released. And once I dug a little deeper, I found out, like, no, it's a brand new track. And not really, I shouldn't have been too surprised, because when Surgical Steel came out in, I think it was 2015, that album, it really hit hard. They really got back what they were originally going for. A lot of people will say that, like, Heartwork is their last good album. Swan Song wasn't too great. Surgical Steel, in my opinion, was a great album. But Heartwork was a little more mainstream, a little more, I won't say radio playable, but it was definitely more, they were trying to shoot for a certain crowd, whereas before that it was only their feels. That's what they had. They were just making what they felt, and everybody just sort of loved it. Now, Reputrefaction, as crappy as that they say that album was, it actually had a really, really good response from everybody. So that's kind of what built them. It kind of made them into what they are today. And, the musicianship on the album is still amazing nonetheless. It's, it's Carcass. They were incredible musicians right from the get-go. Basically, overall, I have to say, it's Carcass, and Carcass is back. And I am very much anticipating a new record that's going to be out by them guys. Not sure when it's coming out. They say 2020. All we can do is wait. But I really hope it's soon. I need some new shit to listen to. Not that there isn't any new shit. I'm going to talk about a little bit of that soon. Some stuff that I've been listening to, that I've been finding. And honestly, if you anybody listening has an opinion on Under the Scalpel Blade, the new track, and they want to talk to me about it, hit me up. You can get our email. I'll plug all our stuff at the end of the episode. And by all means, send us an email or put a comment on one of our posts. I want to talk to people about it. So, sorry, I kind of fell off here, but they released 6 studio albums. Reputrefaction was number 1. And then after that, they released Symphonies of Sickness. Date lines on these, I don't really have the dates, but I think Symphonies of Sickness, for some reason, I think came out in like 87 possibly. And then they had Necroticism, Descanting the Insalubrious. They kind of have some long names. Their tracks also. And then Heartwork, and then Swan Song, and then in 2015 they released Surgical Steel. So, I mean, they've had some radio silence for the last 5 years. Basically, it's been said, I think it's Bill Steer said, and Jeff Walker, I read an interview, and he said that if they didn't feel like it was Carcass when they got back together, they weren't going to do it. So they were going to get together, write some songs. If it didn't feel right, they were going to end it all. Clearly, they didn't end it all, so lucky for us, Carcass fans. Hopefully there's more than just me out there. I know that's true. There is more than me. But, yeah, they obviously felt like it was good enough to keep on going. And fucking A to them, because that means we get more Carcass. So that's pretty much all I got on Carcass. Some other shit that I've been spinning lately is a couple new bands I found. Are whether or not these are new bands, not 100% sure. But one band I really am kind of getting into here is Elevati. Elevati's not a new band. They've been around for quite some time. They are Celtic, I guess it's Celtic melodic death metal. They have really kind of changed my opinion on the whole Celtic thing. I never could get into it before. These guys fucking smash hard. And they have a lot of members in the band, too. I think there's probably 6 or 7 members. There's a lot of different instruments, a lot of cool stuff. There's 2 girls that do some singing and a guy that does some singing, so there's a lot of different vocal variations. It's really cool stuff. Wow, this is really fucking hard when you're by yourself. Anyways, bear with me, folks. So one thing I want to start doing every week, we're going to start kind of plugging show dates for local shows anyways. I know it doesn't really help anybody out if they're around or away from here. But you know what, if you are, maybe fly into the Maritimes in Canada and check out some of the local bands. I'll tell you right now, there's some good fucking shit going on. So, Friday, which will be tonight, if you're listening to this when it comes out, at Gus's Pub, we got Hogtooth and Only Vultures Left, a couple of friends of ours in that band, and Story to Tell. And Saturday, February 1st at Taco Pica in St. John's, New Brunswick. We got Elevate the Virus, Cave Dweller, and Ehorm. I don't know if I'm saying that right. If I'm not, please fucking get on the social media and correct me on that. Ehorm, or whatever your band is called. Please help me out. I want to come see you, but I don't know how to say your band name. So yeah, that's the only shows really that are coming up this weekend around here. My band's going to be doing some stuff, but not for a little while because we got an EP we're working on right now, and that's just about in completion. And once that's done, we're going to be kind of hammering out the shows to promote that. Yeah, so this is going to be a pretty short episode. My apologies for that, but next week we'll be back in full force. We do have some pretty exciting guests coming up. Not going to spoil that. We'll leave that for a surprise for you. But yeah, we do got some pretty fun guests coming on. Few bands that I'm friends with and Jen is friends with are going to be coming on here and doing some pods with us, and we'll be talking about their adventures and their other shit that they've been going through and trying to get their music out. Yeah, so basically I'm going to cut this off, I guess. I'm going to wrap it up. If you want to talk to us, get a hold of us on Facebook. You can get us at Getting Hard Pod. Instagram is Getting Hard Podcast, and Twitter is at Getting Hard Pod. Or shoot us an email. You know, tell us something if you got a band and you want us to talk about your band, or if you're interested in coming and hanging out with us and doing a pod. Definitely hit us up. Our email is getting.hard.podcast@outlook.com. We really hope to hear from some people. It's been a week, let's say that, for sure, with the flu going around and the colds going around. Hopefully everybody's staying warm and staying healthy. Yeah, so we will see you all next week. Thanks a lot for listening. Later.